All right, let's jump right in. Today, we're going to challenge a single, really dangerous assumption that could be putting your small business at serious risk. So take a second and be honest with yourself on this one. If you're like most small business owners, you probably feel like you're flying under the radar of any real threats. But what if that exact feeling of safety is the very thing that makes you the perfect target? And look, that totally makes sense. You're not a household name or some massive corporation. It's a really common belief. But here's the thing, it's based on a view of risk that's just dangerously out of date. So here it is, the uncomfortable truth. Cyber threats today, they really don't care if you're a giant fortress or a small house. They're like a storm that just hits everyone. You face the exact same threats as the big players, but as we're about to see, you're often facing them completely without a safety net. Okay, so let's get into it. Section 1. Same risk, no safety net. Let's break down what that actually means in the real world. Let's start with compliance, because man, this one trips up so many owners. It doesn't matter if you have 2 employees or 2,000. If you handle sensitive data, the legal rules are the same for everybody. These simply do not shrink along with your team size. And just look at the massive resource gap this creates. A large corporation, they have entire teams just to prevent mistakes. But for a small business, well, it's often just you and a search engine, hoping you're getting it right. And way too often, the rules only get learned after something has gone terribly, terribly wrong. This just puts it perfectly. You have the same obligations, but your ability to meet them is stretched so thin. You're being forced to play the same game with just a fraction of the resources. You know, the idea that hackers only target huge corporations, that's a total myth. Today, automated attacks scan the entire internet looking for any weakness. They aren't looking for a big name. They're looking for an unlocked door. Any unlocked door. This really visualizes the difference in readiness. On one side, you have active, layered defenses. On the other, well, often it's just luck and maybe an old antivirus program. The threat is identical, but the preparation is worlds apart. And this is what it all comes down to. When a large company gets hit, it's a crisis, sure, but it's one they can manage. For a small business, that same attack can be an extinction-level event. The outcomes aren't even comparable. And those devastating outcomes, they almost always come with a huge price tag. We're talking about things like ransomware payments, emergency repairs, data restoration. These aren't small bills, and you know they never ever arrive at a convenient time. You know, for a large corporation, an emergency cost is just a line item in a budget. For a small business, though, that same bill can disrupt cash flow, halt projects, and it lands squarely on the owner. It can be absolutely devastating. Okay, that brings us to our next section, the hidden drag on growth. Because the risk isn't just about the big disasters. It's also about all the quiet problems that hold you back every single day. We have all seen this. Every small business has that one person who's just good with computers. They're a hero for sure, but modern IT, with all its complexity and security needs, is a full-time job. A part-time helper just can't handle it anymore. So this is the DIY IT trap in action. A server goes down, your best salesperson, who's also your tech person, stops selling to fix it, and now the whole team is stalled, just waiting. That's not just downtime, it's a massive lost opportunity. And that's because poor IT isn't just about things breaking. It's the constant, low-level friction, that slow drain on productivity that prevents you from scaling up and seizing new opportunities. So, does any of this sound a little too familiar? Slow computers, workflows held together with digital tape, messy file storage. These aren't just minor annoyances. They are symptoms that your tech has stopped being an asset and has actually become a liability. Section 3. Building your defense. Okay, we've laid out the problem pretty clearly. Now let's talk about the solution. The solution is a Technology Solutions Partner, or TSP. Now, this isn't just an outsourced helpline. It's a dedicated team that acts as your IT department, providing the exact professional safety net that small businesses are missing. And a good partner directly solves every single problem we've talked about. Those surprise bills that derail your cash flow, they become predictable monthly costs. Weak cyber defenses, they're replaced with robust, layered security. Unstable, frustrating systems become reliable tools your team can count on. It gives you the freedom to stop dodging disasters and finally focus on growth. This really is the fundamental shift in mindset. The old way is reactive, it's just hoping for the best. The new way is proactive. It's about building a stable foundation that prevents those surprises from ever happening at all. So I'll leave you with this final thought. Take a moment right now and ask yourself, what is the one single technology failure that would bring your entire business to a grinding halt? If you can't fix it fast and you don't have a plan, then you are still operating without a net. And maybe it's time to change that.